The astrology of the week beginning Monday, 12th of January, is encouraging us with new ideas and new energy in areas to do with love and money, creative projects, entrepreneurial initiatives. And at the same time, we're asked to keep our feet on the ground, to remember the details, and be sensible as we head towards the new moon in Capricorn. How can you best work with this energy? We're going to talk about that in this video as I go through the transits and aspects of the week one by one. Hello, my name is Fiona of sunandmooncalendar.com. I make calendars like this one for Aotearoa New Zealand and for Australia. I'm based in New Zealand, but the astrology I'm talking about in this video is for the whole world. Okay, so those astrological energies, they are affecting us everywhere, and just the time around the world will be different by just a day or so. So this is a short video about the aspects and transits of the week. We're going to talk about how you can work with the potent energy that's involved. And tomorrow I'll have another video out about the new moon in Capricorn, and I'll go through sign by sign so that you know how that is affecting you in a more specific way. So let's get into this week's aspects and transits one by one, starting from Mercury opposite Jupiter. Recently, I did a video about Mercury, about the other planets, the other personal planets, a triple conjunction of Venus, the Sun, and Mars opposite Jupiter. And that energy could bring a lot of optimism and expansiveness and opportunity and new ideas, but there is a need to have caution because we could get too carried away and overreach and be over ambitious. When we have Mercury now in opposition to Jupiter, there's that same tendency, but with the Mercury energy in particular, it might be something where there's a clash of the details versus the big picture, because Mercury does like to plan and be rational and think about the details and the analysis, whereas Jupiter often wants to just stay in the big picture with the grandiose ideas. So watch out for that energy. It's the final one of a series. The other ones happened closer together just recently, okay? And then we have Venus sextile Saturn. Venus, which brings up themes of love and money, connection with others that is harmonious, peaceful, kind of lovely and charming. Venus is also about the pleasures of the senses, earthly pleasures, where we are enjoying the good things in life, comforts and luxuries, and sensual things like the touching things that feel lovely. And Saturn is about, in this aspect, it's a sextile, so it is encouraging. It's quite a supportive aspect if we take action in a sensible way. Saturn wants us to work in a realistic way for the future, be willing to work hard and abide by the restrictions and rules that are part of the context that we live in, and do things for the long term. So this is a great one for building for the future. And altogether with, we've got that, just going back, we've got Mercury, Jupiter, lots of good planning energy there and thinking big and remembering the details. And then we've got Venus, Saturn, building for the long term and considering love and money and good connection and contracts, being peaceful and diplomatic with it. So great planning energy there. And then just when you think your plans are going really smoothly and being very constructive as you have your discussions and you're thinking, then along comes Uranus. And this is Venus trine Uranus. It's a supportive aspect, a trine, so it tends to be easier. But nevertheless, Uranus can bring disruption and even shocks and discomfort. Usually Uranus will come along with a new idea that's out of the box, and it can be uncomfortable. It can kind of throw you for a loop at times and maybe feel like just too outside of your comfort zone. Uranus is amazing. It has this incredible brain power. It can see everything. Somebody with strong Uranus, they tend to think of these amazing solutions to large-scale problems, often involving quite advanced technology. And this could be the kind of thing that comes along and maybe throws a spanner in the works in terms of, oh, we thought we had this all thought out, but now there's this new idea and we have to go back to the drawing board to consider it. Okay. Uranus also helps us remember about large groups of people in terms of the masses, and try to think big and wide with the solutions that we come up with. And that is followed by some more big picture thinking, because following that, Venus is sextile to Neptune. And excuse the error, I said trine up here, but it's actually Venus sextile Neptune. Okay, Neptune and Venus. Well, for one thing, this is quite a good day to have a date or to spend time doing something lovely and pleasurable and maybe involving water. It's also a good day for dreaming, being imaginative and creative. All right, a good day for a date, like I said. Okay, so there can be more watery flowing of pleasurable feelings and loving vibes. All right, Neptune is really idealistic and romantic and glamorous, and it's very much to do with water. So if you wanted to do something around the water, and you might even on this day, okay, yeah, you could go for a date by walking by a river or going swimming if you're in summer at the moment. If you're in winter, you could even be washing the dishes and you splash your partner with some water. Normally they might get grumpy as anything, but on this day, maybe you'll get away with making them laugh a little bit. But also, this could be a day to remember about charity and to remember about people who are less fortunate or in some ways dispossessed by society. Neptune helps us remember about the underdog, or people who, it's a very compassionate, there's a lot of compassion. With Venus there, it might be that we want to put some money behind that, the loving feelings that we're having for either people or animals or whatever cause, where there's people or animals who have less fortune. And perhaps it's a good day to be giving some charity. And at the same time, just going back, that Uranus energy helps us remember about the masses, the large groups of people. Bringing Neptune in there is another energy towards thinking about the all, because Neptune is about everything. It's about everything. It's like Neptune reminds us that we are all part of the same whole, and unconditional love could be flowing on this day. All right. And then we have the Sun sextile Saturn. The Sun is about our creative life force, our vitality, that spark of energy and joy that comes from you, especially when you express yourself in creative ways, when you take leadership on a project that is very heartfelt. And Saturn reminds us, as we embark on anything like this or are working on anything like this, to be sensible, to think towards the long term, to be disciplined and willing to work hard and work within the boundaries that exist in the context that we're in. So you can see there's just so much energy for creativity and bringing that creativity to an earthly context with this week's transits. And then that's not all. So far those have been in the personal planets, have been in sensible Capricorn, and now Venus is moving into Aquarius, and that will be for the next month or so, or the next few weeks. Venus in Aquarius might help us get into engaging with groups more rather than in one-to-one ways, and it might help us remember about different ways to think about love, so some different alternative approaches to love and relationships. It might help us think about alternative approaches to money and finances, anything or alternative solutions to finding peace, whether that's in an interpersonal situation or a wider context. All right. So Aquarius helps us think outside the box. So, and there'll be something about that coming up. And I've also noted there quirky art and clothing styles, because Venus is also about style and beauty. People might get a little bit alternative during the next few weeks, a bit more than usual. And then we've got the Sun trine to Uranus. That is another one that is helping us to think outside the box, be creative, thinking of large-scale solutions for large-scale problems, and perhaps bringing some technology and innovation, being a bit different, and definitely innovating with technology could be involved there. And this one is less easy. So Mercury conjunct Mars. This might mean, so Mars, the positive side of Mars is desire and initiative and the pioneering spirit, and taking bold steps, being direct. And when Mercury and Mars are together in a positive way and working in a higher expression, we could say, our words might be more direct. We might be saying things that are very authentic and truthful. Those words might be helping us express our desires and our determination. The downside of this kind of aspect with Mercury and Mars might be that we are too sharp with our words, too blunt and tactless, and maybe even unkind. We're not thinking about the other person as we say them, and sometimes it is important to do that. It's important to be truthful, of course, but also to have kindness and consideration as we say whatever it is. And also, these could be fighting words as we have Mercury and Mars. So use the energy positively. Try and be truthful and direct, but also peaceful as you give your messages to whoever it is. Okay, and all of this is leading us to the new moon in the sign of Capricorn. The sun and the moon will be coming exactly conjunct at 28 degrees 43 minutes of Capricorn, that last little bit of time in Capricorn. And this is really setting off the mini grand trine or the minor grand trine that is so active in 2026. So I'll be talking about that more in the video that comes out tomorrow, where I'll do an all signs breakdown about that new moon in the sign of Capricorn. There's so many aspects this week. Shortly after the new moon, like, is it the same day? On the same day. Either Sunday the 18th or Monday the 19th of January. Mercury is sextile to Saturn, and this is another one where we've got really good energy for planning, because Saturn is about doing things in practical ways for the long term. Mercury is about analysis and planning and talking about ideas and communicating and sending messages and receiving messages and getting things into an organized system. So good for planning. And then Mercury trine to Uranus, another one where amongst that planning there is space, and we could have coming along to us some innovative ideas that could feel a bit disruptive and uncomfortable, but they are worth considering with your planning. Oh, finally, that's it. A lot of aspects and transits this week. And just looking at the week coming up next week, the Sun moves into Aquarius. Saturn is sextile Uranus. Those are two outer planets. This is an unusual aspect. And then, for the last time ever, Neptune will be leaving Pisces and moving into Aries, the last time ever in our lifetimes, because the next time that happens, it will be in 165 years. So I'll be talking more about that in the coming couple of weeks. So there we go, everyone. That is a roundup of the aspects and transits one by one as they happen this week. We've got that Uranus energy making us think outside the box, Uranus and Neptune encouraging us to be creative, Mercury with its opposition to Jupiter and its conjunction with Mars, encouraging us to express our ideas, be sensible and rational with the Capricorn energy, and express our desires with the conjunction with Mars, and all of it leading to quite a transformative new moon, I think. You can learn more about that in the video that's coming out tomorrow. Please like, comment or subscribe if you like this video. I am a small creator, so you're a small YouTube channel, so your encouragement is much appreciated and will help the algorithm to grow the channel. So all the best, and if you are from Aotearoa New Zealand or from Australia, this is the calendar, the Aotearoa and the Australia Sun and Moon calendar. This is not the Australian one, for 2026, and you can go to sunandmooncalendar.com to order it. It's packed with information. It uses local animals and birds to represent the astrological signs. So if you're from Australia, there are Australian birds and animals. If you're from New Zealand, they're New Zealand ones. And all the aspects and transits are listed in there. So there's lots of help for you, as well as really clear visuals for the lunar months. Go well this week, everybody. Bye for now, and see you in tomorrow's video.